Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Jennifer and I am a part-time reseller on the platforms eBay, Poshmark, and Makari. Today's video is a what sold for the week. So I do weekly videos throughout the month and then a total monthly recap. So this is going to be week 1 of October. My week 1 of October is from September 27th to October 3rd. So I just do reoccurring weeks. So this month is actually going to have 5 weeks of sales worth. So this is going to be the first week out of 5. And I'm just going to go over a little bit of Poshmark, eBay, Makari, how my sales did, give you guys some numbers. I may not include every single sale, but just some maybe more exciting ones or the better sales for items that you might want to be on the lookout for. To get started, let's just say, jump right in there, my net earned for this first week was $562, or just under $562. So that is after all of my fees, my shipping fees, my platform fees. That does not include my cost of goods though. I tally up my cost of goods for the whole month, and that I base it on what I spent during the month for cost of goods. So for any inventory goods, I take it all for the month because I do not buy items and sell them the same day or list them the same day. I have items from months ago that I have not even listed or photographed, so it's a little bit inaccurate to base my cost of goods off of the items that sold versus off of what I've spent for that month. So I do have a challenge for myself this month to not source any inventory. So far, week 1 was successful, so I did not spend a single dollar on inventory this month, meaning this total net is a pure profit for my first week, which is good because my goal for this month is to profit $2,500. So that's after any fees and things like that. So the only cost of goods I will have were my regular monthly services, and then any like maybe items that I need to purchase for my business, cards, bags, mailers, supplies, things like that. So $562, really good. And I did not have a single sale on Makari, so that kind of gets rid of Makari right there. I need to be better on Makari. It's just very hard, and I just don't make enough time for it. But when I do have sales, it does help a lot. But this week, no sales on Makari, so I'll go ahead and jump into eBay. On eBay, I sold a total of 15 items, and I did try to do something a little different to calculate like the amount of items that I've sold versus the sales per item average, just because I know a lot of people are interested in that, and I think that's a really good way to document how your growth is. Now, if you always want to just have an average per item sale of $10 because you find a lot of items for 25 cents, 50 cents, $1 free, and that worked for your business model, that's great. Me, I'd like to consistently increase that per average item sale because it just means that I'm not working as hard by selling so many items, packaging so many items, photographing, shipping so many items, versus I can spend less time doing all of that and still make a good amount of money on just selling 1 or 2 items. So my total gross for eBay on my items sold, my 15 was $330 and change, so $330. And after my fees, so on there I have shipping fees. I do offer free shipping on mostly all of my clothes. I have the site fees, which is about 10%, and then promotional fees. I've dropped all my promotional fees. Normally I had them about 5 to 10%. I've dropped them all between 1 and 3%. So I just did a general calculation of 3% for my items that sold for promoted listings. That totaled out to give me a net of $212.53. So $330 was my gross after my fees, $212. So a $212 net is very good in the scheme of things, but the reason why that is a little bit lower, but also, you know, I had a lot of sales, is because I did run a 40% off clearance sale in my closet. So I did 40% off trying to move a lot of clothes, and that's 40% off still with free shipping. So I did not change the shipping. So a lot of these items sold for $10, $13, $15, $18 with free shipping. So I'm not going to really get into those because that was just to really create some traction in my store and get the ball rolling. I wanted my first week to set me up for success in my goal this month, so that's why I did that. So that averages out to $14.17, as my average item sold for net. So that is all of my net information. So $212 my net earned, $14 is my net per average item sold, and 15 items was the amount sold. So here's a few items that did sell on eBay that I was very happy about. On the 27th, I sold a pair of Miss Me jeans. I've realized that the value on Miss Me has gone down a lot over the past years. I never really found it though prior to just recently. And I'm seeing that they're selling for an average of about $25 to $35, like all in, so including shipping or not, however you want to do it. This first pair sold for $25 plus the buyer paid $7.75 shipping. I did have the buyer pay shipping on most jeans. I'm starting to do that because that really does cut into your profit when you can't ship first class. So $25, I accepted a best offer on top of the 40% off sale that I had. I didn't have a whole lot of interest on Poshmark, so I went ahead and accepted that. Later on in the week, I got another offer on a pair of Miss Me jeans. So the only two pairs that I had, this one I did have price less because the first one had like the really pretty wings on the back pockets, and this one just had some like bling detail on it, so it wasn't like the wing jeans. This one I took a best offer of $20 with $7.75 shipping is what the buyer paid. So not bad there. One of them I paid $7 or $8. I can't remember if it was $6.99 or $7.99. I want to say it was $6.99, and then the other pair I paid $3 for at a yard sale. So not bad. About $10 is what I spent there, and then my total, not including shipping, was $45. So that's a pretty good turnaround. But I won't spend over $5 on Miss Me jeans anymore, and I'm only going to pick up the ones that have the very blinged out back pockets, rhinestones, bedazzles, I think it's called Fallen Angel for the ones that have the wings on the back. So right, another sale that I was happy with, which was a pretty good quick flip. This is an item that I purchased at my big garage sale extravaganza. This is a light, and it's just a little lamp. At first I thought it was like a book light to connect to your books or put on the end of a desk, but then it said something there about DJ, so I asked at the yard sale how much it was because it wasn't priced. She had no idea what it was. She says, I don't know, just $1. And I said, sounds good. Like, it was brand new in the package, and just because it said DJ light, I figured that was well worth chancing for $1. And it sold for $30 with free shipping pretty quickly, so in about a week. I still really don't know what it is. I'll put the picture here, and I put all the information on there, so whoever bought that or was looking for it, I'm sure will know what that is. But that was a quick flip, and that went first class. It was probably only about 8 ounces, including cardboard that I put in to protect the light. So about maybe $3.50 is what it cost to ship that. Another item that sold, this one sold for $20 with free shipping. This is a Bowden top. It is brand new with tags. I found this at Nordstrom Rack during their clearance event. It was $5.97, so I spent $6 on it, and it was a maroon purple velvet long sleeve top. Bowden doesn't sell as well as it used to also, so one of those other brands. I do still pick it up. It's got a good name, good value to it. The pieces are usually pretty well made. This one I picked up because it was new with tags, and it was velvet, so I knew it was coming into the fall winter time, so it was in season. So that, again, it went first class, so I paid probably about $4 to ship this. I sold it for $20. I spent $6. After my fees, I only profited purely on this item probably about $7. But still, I'm fine with selling new with tag items like that for a little bit lower dollar profit because they usually sell faster, and the chances of a return are very low because they're new with tags, so they're gonna fit how they're gonna fit. They're not washed or resized, and then a lot of times people buy them for a gift. So then the next thing to go over is another item that I picked up at the garage sale extravaganza. This is a Pokemon strategy guide. So it is new sealed, but the seal did have some rips through it. I like things Pokemon, anime, stuff like that. Anything that is actually vintage and still current, you know, like Harry Potter stuff. So this, I knew it was the newer model. I do personally collect Pokemon cards, and I try to stay up with the genres or the new and current games, card collections, things like that that are coming out. So I did know that this was the newer model. Um, a couple months ago it was selling for about $70, $75, $80. So that's when it first came out. So it sold for $49.99, which was my full asking price of free shipping. I was very happy with that. I was a little nervous that the rip in the plastic seal would reduce the value, but that sold for my full asking price, and again, that only took about a week to sell. And then of course that went medium mail, so I think it was almost 3 pounds. So even at 3 pounds, the medium mail cost was right under $4. And the last thing that I'm going to discuss is a pair of shoes. These are Nike LeBron sneakers. I found these at Ross. I can't remember the exact price that I paid for them. If I think about it, I'll put it right here. 100% did not pay more than $10. I'm almost confident I paid $4.99 for them. They were a size 17, so definitely one of those, custom request sizes. They're not a size that just every shoe store carries. They were very large, took up a lot of space. I risked it because it was not only Nike, it was also LeBron. I'm not saying that I'm a LeBron James fan, but I know that there are a lot of fans for LeBron James out there. And the shoes were in really good condition. I mean, I got them at Ross, so they were new, but they didn't have like the tags or anything on them. These I took a best offer of $55 for with free shipping. I originally had them listed over $100 because the shoe itself was a very sought after style at one point, but I think this size was just so rare. I felt like I could price it a little bit higher because the person who found this that would want them in their size, it would just, everything would be meant to be. But then I realized that it's just taking up more room than I wanted, worth hanging on to. I mean, if it was a small kid size, okay, maybe I'd keep it, or if it was a piece of jewelry, I'd keep it for a while. But I wanted to go ahead and move these, so I did accept that offer of $55. I had zero interest on Poshmark for them. So, actually, no, I'm sorry. I did have 2 likers, but I had sent out really good offers to both of them in the past, and I didn't have any, communication back. So, with free shipping, these shoes did cost about $10 to ship. I went ahead and used Pirate Ship for them and put them in a poly mailer, wrapped them up. So Pirate Ship is a lot less if you're using poly mailer or bags, padded mailers versus boxes. So that, just keep that in mind if you're trying to price something. And it, if you want to go a little bit higher on the weight, sometimes it's worth doing more packaging versus using the box. Alright, now let's go ahead and get into Poshmark. So for Poshmark, I had about the same, I did have the same amount of sales. I had 15 sales. One of the sales was a bundle sale, however, so there was 3 items bundled in that, so I sold a couple more items. Another one of those sales was canceled. Unfortunately, I did have to cancel it because I couldn't find the item. It was a LuLaRoe cardigan, and it had sunflowers all over it, which I know sunflowers are pretty trendy. Some people really love them. I took a best offer of $6 because I've had it for a little while, and it's out of season. I didn't want to keep it anymore, and I couldn't find the item. So I know I haven't sold it, I just don't know where it was at, and I gave it 3 days, couldn't find it. I messaged the buyer and I apologized for the inconvenience. They were pretty bummed and said if I do find it, please let them know because they really wanted it. So I feel bad when that happens. Even though Poshmark, you don't get dings or anything like that versus eBay, you do kind of get in trouble if you do that. It's still sad for the buyer, especially when they probably thought this is perfect, I love sunflowers. So hopefully I can find it when I start moving stuff around. It might be in my storage unit, but so that one I went ahead and just took off as far as like all of my numbers. So technically I actually sold 14 sales and 16 items. That being said, my gross was $454, and after my fees, there was a few shipping discounts that I gave, not too many, but about 4 or 5, and my net was $349.05. So $349 was my net earned after my 20% fees and the shipping fees. So my average gross per item was just over $28. My average net per item was $21.82, so just under $22 was my average net per item sold, which is good. I do love the idea of having 20 plus being my average item sold. That just shows that I'm going in the right direction, spending a little bit more for items, paying up for a little bit, doing more retail arbitrage and things like that. So $349 was my total net for Poshmark. Some items that sold, a pair of Sorel snow boots. These were like the duck boots. They had the high and inner fleece lined. So they went up to like full calf, so just below the knee. Those sold for $40. I took a best offer on that. So after fees, I earned $32. And let's just stick with shoes. Another pair of shoes that sold. These were new with tag champion shoes. I had just listed these. These sold within a day. They were a very neon retro inspired sneaker. They were youth shoes, but on youth shoes, when they're higher, like when they're youth size 5, 6, 7, I do try to include all the women and men sizing because that just opens up the market for a larger audience. These sold for my full asking price of $50. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I had them listed for $60, and I got an offer within 24 hours of $50, and I accepted that. My earnings was $40. I believe I paid $24 for these at Ross, so it's not a huge profit flip, but I'm very happy with a $15 return on investment there. So $15 profit for something that sold within 24 hours. Plus they were very fun to photograph and list in my closet, so sometimes I'll pick up items like that I just really enjoy and make me happy. Another pair of shoes that sold were some Skechers. These are Skechers shape ups, which definitely something to be on the lookout for, especially in black, I think, because those are just kind of your standard go-to. And these are really great shoes in a lot of different workplaces, like a lot of restaurants, places that you have a lot of wet surfaces or spillage or things like that. They're very comfortable, they're non-slip. So these sold for $60, which was my full asking price. And I had these listed maybe a month or two, so not too long. And my earnings was $48. Yeah, so these I got for $4.99. They were marked $9.99. They were half price at Goodwill, so I paid $4.99 for these, and my earnings was $48. So definitely a good flip. I would have even paid the full $10 for them because I know that Skechers, these shape ups, are very sought after, and these were in excellent condition. They looked brand spanking new, like they had never been worn. Another really good pair of shoes. So this is the best pair of shoes that I sold this week. They were a pair of Rothy's. Now these were a retired brand. They were a red camouflage pointed toe. Gorgeous. They were my size, but just not a style I think that I would go to often. If it was a rounded toe, I might have considered really keeping them. I mean, I did consider keeping these, but I bought them for $3.99 at Goodwill. I put a post on my Instagram, so if you're not following me there, you want to check that out. $3.99, I found them just laying there. They were in really, really good condition. I listed them pretty high because I was tempted to have an excuse to keep them for myself around the holiday season. But you get an offer for $92 on something you only spent $4. That's very, very hard to turn down. So I did go ahead and accept that. The buyer was very excited. She sent me a message right away thanking me and saying that she was excited to get them. She did receive them, hasn't accepted them yet, so I'm hoping everything works out okay, because my earnings was $73.60, so I profited almost $70 on those shoes. Oh, and they sold in about a week, so very quick sell, and that was my first time finding Rothy's. Again, if you're not familiar with it, Rothy's is a definite be on the lookout for. They're very trendy right now, quick flips and high dollar amounts. And another pair of shoes that sold, I'm just going over shoes because this is the thing that's really, really selling, so I think this is very important for you to kind of be on the lookout for, list them, plus they sell for a higher dollar amount, especially if you can find them at a good price. This is a pair of SAS shoes, so another brand that does sell very well, you always want to keep in mind. SAS, now this is a smaller size shoe, so I bought a lot of these, like a lot of them, at the garage sale extravaganza. It was 12 pairs for $40. 11 was SAS shoes and 1 was a Nike pair. So this one sold very quickly. I've only listed four of those shoes so far, and I listed them all at $40, and I wasn't really sure if that was a little high for the sneakers or not. I received an offer for $20 and I countered for $33, then they countered for $25. I accepted that because that's $20, so that's already half the price that I paid for the box. So selling one more of those pays for the entire shoe haul that I got, and that means that all the other 10 are going to be pure profit. Okay, and I want to discuss the one bundle that I sold because this was such a fun bundle. This was a men's bundle, very exciting. I enjoyed packaging this bundle up. It was a pair of Durango cowboy boots, a Wrangler button-up Sherpa lined denim shirt. So I think it was actually a shirt, but it was fully lined with like a Sherpa fleece thick layering, so it was almost like a button-up sweater, and a pair of vintage Levi shorts. So very fun bundle. This is definitely the aesthetic of my closet that I really love putting something like this together. Very happy that a gentleman was able to find a pair of shoes, a pair of shorts, and a shirt all in his size. And this bundle sold for $65 with a discounted shipping, because he had liked a few items. I put them in the bundle and I sent an offer with a shipping discount on there, because sometimes I think that gives that extra little incentive that they're not only getting a good deal, but they're also saving on discount. So it puts a little bit more, not pressure, but just interest on going ahead and purchasing that, because they don't want to miss out on a double good deal. So my earnings was $49.88. Very happy with that sale. Anything where I can get an earnings of $50 for one sale is ideal, and that's very exciting. And then the last item that I'm going to talk about is a We the Free People sweater. This is a velvet sweater. Free People doesn't sell as well, mainly because the market is very oversaturated, so people know that they can find it a lot of places, so they're very picky on how much they're going to pay. But this was a very trendy sweater, and it was perfect for the season. It was beautiful. It sold for $25 with offer to likers, so I did offer a shipping discount on that. My total earned was $17.88. Right now, for me anyway, sweaters and shoes are really selling, so I think that's a good thing to try to list if you can. So those are the items that I'm discussing. That gave me my net for $349 on Poshmark. Then again, my net $212 on eBay gave me a total net of $561 for week 1, which again, I have zero cost of goods in this week so far, so that's great. That's pure profit. And that's it. So Makari, hopefully I can get some sales next week, and I'm definitely having more time to list. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you do enjoy, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, definitely consider subscribing. I am learning how to include more and better information in my videos, be a little bit more helpful, a little bit more educating. I'm also getting better at editing and things like that, so it makes it a little bit faster for me. So if you want to stick around, definitely feel free to hit that subscribe button. All of my information is going to be linked below. Feel free to send me a comment if you have any questions, or if there's anything that you want to input to help educate me. I'd be more than happy to receive that. I love communicating with anybody who wants to talk. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.